Welcome to Take Another Look, a public affairs program bringing you news updates and important information that you can use. For many, confusion and sometimes stress comes with applying for college, with the many deadlines and application fees required. Recently, a scholarship fair was held at Thornridge High School right here in Dalton, where information was distributed regarding scholarships. But there are many students who plan on attending college who might not be eligible for scholarships and may have to take out student loans. That brings us to our guest today, who is a source of great information and helpful hints that hopefully will reduce some of the stress and eliminate some of the confusion for students and their parents during the process. We'd like to welcome Alexandria Hines of the Illinois Student Assistance Commission to Take Another Look. Hi, Alexandria.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good.
So tell us a bit about the Illinois Student Assistance Commission.
The Illinois Student Assistance Commission is the state of Illinois' financial aid agency, and basically our mission is to make college more affordable and accessible for all Illinois residents.
Mm-hmm. And you are the coordinator for the entire Chicago metropolitan area, is that correct?
Correct. So that's the west side, south side, parts of downtown, and then definitely the south suburbs, so here in Dalton.
Now, during the process of applying for financial aid, we hear the term FAFSA forms. What is it?
Correct. Basically, FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, and it is the first step into the financial aid process. So students complete that information as well as, their parents, if they're dependent. So basically what they would need social security number, if they're not a U.S. citizen, their alien registration number, any records of income, any information about assets, as well as the FSA ID number to actually sign the FAFSA electronically. So basically what that means is, they put all their information onto this application, and then that information is sent to the college and university.
Now, there's so many different types of loans. There's guaranteed student loans, and then there's loans that are specifically for the parents, and then sometimes the students can take out loans on their own. Then there are grants that don't necessarily have to be repaid, or some that are conditions placed upon receiving a particular grant.
Correct.
Straighten that out for us.
Okay, so basically there's two types of aid. So the first is gift aid, so that's where the grants and scholarships come into play. Then there's self-help aid, which requires a little bit more responsibility on the student. So work study, meaning they have to actually work, earn that money, as well as, of course, the loans. So
now as far as the scholarships and grants, those are that's aid that's given to a student, and the requirement basically is, I guess, they have to keep a certain level of a grade point average perhaps, but it doesn't have to be repaid.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Loans, on the other hand, always have to be repaid.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
We just want to make sure we get that straight.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Most definitely.
So tell us about the different types of loans. So people are getting an education regarding loans. They probably don't like it, but
Of course, being that financial aid, refers to any earned, borrowed, or given money. Loans are the borrowed portion of that definition. However, I tell anybody, no matter what type of loan that they're, taking out, 4 things to consider. Definitely the source of the loan. So where is it coming from? The interest rates, as well as the repayment options, the grace period, and then if it's a subsidized or unsubsidized loan. So meaning, when will the interest begin to accrue, and, who is responsible for that interest, and if it's a need-based or a non-need-based loan.
Previously, the FAFSA application became available at the beginning of the year.
Correct.
Now that deadline or that available time has been moved up, is that correct?
Correct. So now, like you said, it was January 1st. Now it is October 1st. So any student that's currently a high school senior, or if they're already in college or returning adult, or, anybody that wants to eventually, and hopefully receive financial aid, the application for FAFSA is now available October 1st.
Now tell us about some of the forms that are needed and some of the documents that you'll need when applying for financial aid on the student's behalf and their parents.
Correct. That's a great question. So the first thing, student, must have a social security or must know their social security number. If they're not a U.S. citizen, then their alien registration number. Any records of income, any information about assets, as well as a FSA ID username and password, which you can create at fsa.ed.gov. And that just serves as your electronic signature because it is a federal document. So what happens is, when you're actually completing the FAFSA, students have a portion that they complete, as well as the parents, they have a portion that they complete. So that's where those records of income and information about assets come to play, because I get that question asked a lot.
Now, if a parent still owns, and it's likely that would take place, if a parent still owes student loans, does that have a bearing on the amount of aid that will be distributed or awarded to their children?
That's a great question. So for the most part, when a student is completing their FAFSA application, any aid that's awarded will be in the student's name, except, so that includes like a direct subsidized or direct unsubsidized loans, right? So of course, being that we're talking about loans, those loans will actually be in the student's name. However, if a parent is interested in taking out a loan in their name for their student, right, that is credit based. So depending upon if they're in default or, the situation of their loan, that's a situation where, what's the right word I'm looking for? That's a situation where
it's on a case-by-case basis, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. And how can those who are trying to apply for financial aid, they have some questions, is there a number or website that will enable them to contact ISAC?
Correct. Yes, there is. So if you would like to go check us out online, ISAC, ISAC.org. Or we do have 2 reps in the area, Samantha Branch or Amber Cross. You can definitely contact them. They work within the South Suburban District.
Now, one final question. I see your shirt. It says, "College changes everything."
Yes, correct.
At the scholarship fair at Thornridge High School, we saw many of the young ladies walking around with those shirts on. Tell us a little bit about the slogan and the shirt.
So college changes everything is basically, our agency came up with it. And basically we're just trying to correlate how, obtaining some type of post-secondary degree, whether it's, trade and vocational, community colleges, or, you obtaining a bachelor's degree, can change your life in the aspect of course, you're more likely to be employed. You're more likely, or the more likely, or the higher your earnings could potentially be. And, that just kind of correlates or goes in line with, obtaining a house or not being in debt, or even, I've read correlations about, the more education you have and the better your health is. So just goes to show that, college, if you do decide to go that route, can change your life for the better.
All right. Well, thank you, Alexandria. And thank you for tuning in to this edition of Take Another Look, where we've heard from Miss Alexandria Hines and the Illinois Student Assistance Commission and the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, and she helped us take another look at student loans and financial aid.